This is one of those albums where you really need to have some good bud. Or something at least. You should be popping something, you should be smoking something, you should be drinking something. I'm going to drink this. It's a pink cup. What could be in the pink cup? You don't know. I don't know. I'm going to keep it that way. Cheers. MASTERMIND, Mastermind. Oh yeah, that just amped me up. 2010 album by the stoner rock legends. And yes, I say legends. Why? Because this is a band that's definitely experienced a lot of success in the genre, even though only 2 of their albums really peaked in the Billboard Top 200. So that's something that's kind of interesting. These guys are considered to be real underground legends. These are the heavyweights, the stalwarts, the ones where a lot of bands that got into the genre and maybe have gotten a little bit more success out of the genre, they look at these boys and they definitely show a lot of respect for these guys, and it's really fair to be it's a fair assumption, so to speak, because back in 1998 there was a time period during the summer where you couldn't go, I would say, 2 blocks without hearing the soothing sounds of Space Lord, which was a single off of the Monster Magnet record Power Trip. Power Trip was a fantastic album. It was an album that really not so much launched the careers of Monster Magnet. It was the album that really gave them their taste of success. It was something where their first couple of records really didn't perform very well, such as Dopes to Infinity and the like. But Space Lord, you could say, and Power Trip, should I say, was sort of their breakout, their breakthrough. It was the album that gave them the acclaim and gave them the attention, and all those tags that are associated with stoner rock really come because of the omnipresence that Power Trip had over the industry over the late 1990s. It's a fantastic record, by the way, so this is a very well-received and well-founded argument. However, son of a bitch. Well, let's put this down for a minute. However, of course, as you know, that's 12 years ago. It's now 2010. Get your pull. It's 2010. Mastermind comes out. Mastermind's their 8th studio record. And this is one of those records where it's 60 minutes long, and it's one of those experiences that you really have to enjoy from front to back in order to really appreciate. It's something where, you know what that old saying is, whistle while you work? No. Fuck it. You're not going to whistle while you work while you listen to this. This is stoner rock. This is heavy stuff. This is stuff that has very, the riffs don't exactly sound very complex until you hear the solos and shit like that, but let me tell you, that's actually the beauty of this particular record. It's got a little bit of a stripped-down feeling to it that Monster Magnet has always sort of had. They've always been a band where it's not exactly all been about the complexity until you make it into the solos and the like. They have a very talented guitar core. Do not get me wrong. However, this simplistic style actually works for them, and works for them very well, in fact. Let me tell you, I saw like I just smoked like 2 bags of weed, but I didn't. I promise you that. Mastermind is their first record on their new label, Napalm Records, which they signed to about a year or so ago, and let me tell you, it's a very, very solid release. Now, let me give you the track listing on here real quick, because Monster Magnet's kind of a band that's known a little bit for their tongue-in-cheek. However, there's a lot of bluntness in this particular band. Bluntness. Let's take a look at the track listing. We have Hallucination Bomb, Bored with Sorcery, Dig That Hole, Gods and Punks, The Titan Who Cried Like a Baby, Mastermind, 100 Million Miles, Perish in Fire, Time Machine, When the Planes Fall from the Sky, Ghost Story, and All Out of Nothing. Now, if you're lucky enough to find the Digibook edition, and we don't mean Digibook like small little piece of shit, we're talking like, holy fuck, it's an actual book. It doesn't fit in shells. That makes Mark's life a bitch. There's 2 more songs on it entitled Watch Me Fade and Fuzz Pig. I know nothing about those 2 songs, so we're going to go with the standard, cool down, regular, boring, regular Joe edition, so to speak. And I gotta say, there's a couple songs on here that I'm going to mention a lot, and I'll just get it out of the way right now. Dig That Hole, Gods and Punks, and When the Planes Fall from the Sky, and All Out of Nothing, definitely some real highlights from this particular release. However, I do have one qualm with this particular album. I just posted Gods and Punks up on Facebook. Yeah, posted on YouTube. No, we're not playing that game again. I'm not getting suspended again. Fuck that. However, this is something where Posted it on Facebook. Love that particular track. It's right in the position where it needs to be. Track number 4. Single position. However, All Out of Nothing, track number 12, is one of those songs that you really would think would ring as this is going to be the experimental track. It's going to be a short experimental track. And it's just, it's like a See You in Hell or something like that. However, that's not exactly what this is. This is a song that I actually think should be in the maybe 2nd or 3rd position. This is a song that should certainly be in a single position because it's a very, very good song. It's in fact something that's completely out in left field, almost like they're deciding to rewrite the way in which the system works, which I don't think it actually works very well. So I think that may have been a mistake. This is a great song, definitely the first song that really caught my ear, and that's something that is on an album like this where each and every song does have a certain positive reflection, where each and every song certainly has a great beat, a great simplistic style riff. I mean, these guys have great guitar chords, don't get me wrong, it's like I said before, but the stuff doesn't exactly sound complex, and that's what it really makes it awesome. It gets stuck in your head. It's like cancer. It's like a tumor that's directly on your frontal lobe. There's no remission going on right here. Now, in 1998, this was something that was really big. However, the stoner rock movement was still something that was very, very small. Still small potatoes. We're talking like, here's scalloped potatoes, here's mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are like more than scalloped potatoes. Monster Magnet was scalloped potatoes. You had fucking Britney Spears, that was mashed potatoes back then. Fucking sucked. Let's face it, good music needed to be the mashed potatoes. However, today I think it's a little bit different of a landscape. I think that there's definitely more of a respect for the stoner rock, stoner metal, stoner whatever sound right now. It's something that really certainly has a little bit more momentum. You see people in here, coming into music stores, and even though they have the Dave Matthews Band and the Fish in their collection, you can definitely see that they love the crunchy grooves. But you also see them in their hands also holding bands such as Mastodon or Baroness or Isis, or potentially exploring the deep, darkened, drony realms of Sun or Boris. I like to say Suno. Don't get me wrong, but I know it's wrong. I don't care. However, Monster Magnet, I think, is one of these bands that really needs to be in this same conversation. I mean, for crying out loud, whenever I put out this album, we didn't even have a card for Monster Magnet. We had no other Monster Magnet discs in the store. It was a travesty. It was horrible. I really felt as though my age was starting to really show, because I figured that, if they're going to always maintain a stock of Wisconsin Death Trip by Static X, or Sunburn by Fuel, which is another good album, don't get me wrong, or, whatever Cyndi Lauper CD that everybody loved in the 1980s, they should certainly at least have a copy of Power Trip by Monster Magnet at all times. But no! I was struck down. My logic was defeated, and I was a very sad, sad cover killer, and my nation wept for me. My nation wept. Whenever you cried the other night, yeah, you didn't know why. You just did it for no reason. Well, now you know why. Now you understand. Now it all makes sense. I'm sure you feel a lot better. That's a little bit of relief, which is a good thing. Relief is a good thing. Well, you know what's going to make me really relieved, guys? There's one way to erase this travesty, and that's to go out and purchase this record. Blast it long, blast it hard, blast it true. Because this is a solid release. 100%. This is one of those records that's going to creep up on that top 20 whenever we get there. Because this is one of those things where the songs, much like this band, and much like stoner rock, it's growing like a cancer. These are songs that grow on you. They grow on your soul. You're walking down the street. You're singing, the chorus from Gods and Punks. You're walking through the mall, or in my case, you're at work, and All Out of Nothing slips into your head, man. It's one of those types of things, and it's really enjoyable. It's one of those powerful, emotional, or some sort of powerful drug attachments, almost like, where you're really going to enjoy this album for a long time, and it's going to stick with you, and you're going to want to listen to it a lot more than you might think. And you might want to fight the urge. Well, don't fight the urge. Don't fight the urge, man. Don't fight the urge, man. Go with it. Roll with it. Let it roll, motherfucker. Let it roll. Because this is an experience that's certainly worth it. This is an experience that, if you're not into stoner rock, you might not think is for you. However, this is a sound that certainly is for everybody. I've had a lot of people say, Monster Magnet, eh. You know what? I just have one thing to say to you guys. Fuck you! Monster Magnet is a fantastic band. This is a fantastic record, and most of you are saying Monster Magnet because you're not giving it a chance. I mean, come on. If you're listening to Congregation of the Damned by Atreyu, well, then your music tastes pretty much sucks anyways.